smiting, tincture on, this one, and slamming. Build of the league. I beat my previous personal records killing all Uber bosses fast as possible. 181 million damage per second on normal bosses, 54 million on Uber bosses. The build tonkiness is just amazing. You can easily AFK anywhere where you want. This is not a bait Moxblock Glad or Slayer with Svalin unique shield. This build is really can tank anything that the game holding for you. The maximum hits of this build is just too high. I think next league this will be get nerfed. This is the definition of broken. So enjoy while you can. And the best about this, you can start with low investment, then start scaling your build to this point. I include free version of this in the description that you can watch after this video. From 20 divine to infinite. Let's break down our items. Let's start with our weapon. Emerald Edge with resolute technique and attack speed corruption. Obviously, I double corrupted this one many weeks ago. This is now considered a super expensive item. We're still using Aegis Aurora shield and still the shiny one because we have tons of armor, guys. Look at this. Because of the Mage Blood, we can have almost 80k armor. This is up all the time. So we basically getting like almost 2k energy shield every time we block. So we basically cannot die anywhere in the game if something is hitting us that big. It's a design problem and it should be not in the game. The next one is obviously the Nimis. Yeah, Nimis is just broken. Every attack build that has projectile built in it, just doubling your damage. And as you can see, this is a shiny one. It doesn't matter, I just wanted to a few shiny items because why not? It was the same price, so who cares, right? And yes, so obviously all projectiles will return to you. This is basically doubles your damage without downside, literally, because Molten Strike do not care about the projectiles I fired in a random direction. Molten Strike not care about this at all, so this is just straight up free damage increase to us. And obviously my signature item Anathema, because your curse limit is equal to your maximum power charges. And in this build we using 4 curses. I increased my curse limit to 4. I added punishment as well as a 4th curse, but I will show you in a second what the gems right now. And obviously Voice of the Storm, pretty underrated item was before I showcased a few leagues ago how broken is this amulet, but now it's considered a premium item and a pretty good one. And I think this item will be get nerfed as well because this is just insanity how much power a single unique can give you. Mage Blood, what else we can use? A super endgame build, a Mage Blood obviously with 4 magic utility flask, and obviously I try to get the highest attributes on this one. This is why I qualityed up the attributes on this one. And obviously the flask is the standard triple elemental resistance and an onslaught flask. All of the flask has increased effect and increased evasion, increased elemental resistance, chance to avoid being stunned, and obviously increased armor here. So, and obviously 70% increased effect with the Enclinging Orb. Yes, and we added a tincture because I made several changes to the tree. So we have now, as you can see, a pretty high mana pool. So we can just turn on in the flask and it will active like almost 10 seconds without we attacking one single time. And after that we will can leech back our mana pretty easily. Rare items, because we're using a few rare items. Let's start with the newest addition to the build. Look at these guys. A leech circlet with 27% quality and fractured intelligence. And honestly, I paid for this one 10 divine. And also you can see tier 1 energy shield and tier 3 and tier 1 hybrid energy shield roll. And I crafted on this one trigger socketed spells when you focus with a cooldown, and we socketed here punishment, conductivity, elemental weakness. So every time we pressing or focus, we will apply all of our curses because I'm using the sniper's mark with mark on his support and Ensha. So basically this is how I starting the fight, hitting the smite one time, turning on the tincture and pressing focus and then slamming down the molten strike to our enemy face. So this is how the rotation as well, and I changed the implicit on this one, increase mana reservation efficiency of skills, because guys, as you was seeing in the thumbnail, our physical max hit is just disgustingly high. So guys, I think there is no physical damage in the game that can kill us with one single hit. Even Uber Shaper Slam is just tickling us, and I hope in the mapping situation there is no bigger damage than that. And honestly guys, I was not died in this week one time, so I think this is pretty broken. And okay, so moving to the next one, I'm still using the necrotic armor that I was using in the first version of this build. I'm still rocking on the, you can see, tier 1 fractured evasion and energy shield, tier 1 evasion and energy shield hybrid mod, and tier 2, because this body armor, as you can see, item level 85, so it cannot roll the tier 1. But honestly guys, I think it was not worth the investment for me to get that much more into the build. We already dealing infinite damage. We basically killing everything under 5 or 6 seconds, as you was seeing at the start of the video, right? So personally, the build is just done. So I think it's only just a prestige at this point to increase your energy shield, your damage, but there is nothing in the game right now that would give us a challenge, literally. I'm sorry, I don't want to be egoistic or anything, but this build is just insane. And okay, so I recrafted a little bit the suffixes. So now we have tier 1 intelligence and tier 4 suppression and percentage attributes craft. This item now is just, I think, pretty insane. Obviously that would be only better if it had a tier 1 increased evasion and energy shield roll and tier 1 suppression, and that's it. Otherwise guys, this is just perfect. As you can see, I'm using physical damage from his taken as chaos and flask applied to you 11% increase effect. Why this modifier, you asking immediately? Honestly, when I'm farming, I'm using gold flask, right? Gold flask, so the gold flask is giving me like 121% increased item rarity, but with this we increasing that one as well, and also all of our flask effect is increasing. So honestly, I think this was a better choice than the increased aura effect, because guys, we're not using any damage aura in this build. That's the most insane part. We're not using any damage aura, literally. That would be get increased by that modifier. So I was thinking, I think the flask applied to you 11% increased effect is much better in long run. And okay, move on to the gloves. As you can see, I got a new pair of gloves, warlock gloves with tier 1 intelligence fracture 86 item level, so we can have tier 1, tier 2, tier 2 increased energy shield, and honestly this is enough for me guys. And we have tier 1 attack speed. And funny thing about these gloves, how I made this, so I had the tier 1 flat energy shield and the hybrid energy shield mod, and I just wanted the tier 1 attack speed. So I, prefixes cannot be changed, go to the fortification station and reforge speed, and then it happened. I hit the tier 1 attack speed, but sadly, quote unquote sadly, it hit the tier 2 increased energy shield. Honestly guys, I just wanted to craft on this one increased energy shield and call it a day. But the game decided, you know what? Here, you can have tier 2 on this bad boy. And I was able to craft increased attack speed and cost speed by focus. So this is pretty good synergy when we triggering or helmet curses, right? So every time we focusing, we also gaining attack speed as well. So it's a pretty good surprise, and I think that was nearly the most lucky moment of this league for me in terms of crafting. So the boots is still the same that I was 1 week ago, so I not recrafted this one because I think this is a fine piece and it would be hard to beat this one, and honestly I would just gain like 40 energy shield from it, so I was not interested in to spend more on this one. No big investment on the boot side, but honestly guys, as I said, I think it's enough this one, but obviously at this point this would be just a prestige, right? Just prestige crafting and that's it. To the Pantheons, yeah, so the Pantheons is nothing really insane. Soul of Solaris, you know, for the crit immunity, we use elemental damage taken if you haven't been hit recently, and we using Soul of Tucumma for additional physical damage reduction. But you can use like, you know, Soul of Ralakesh, Agnis Bleed, but honestly guys, I can just lip slam around with bleed on me and it will not I will not noticing because we have overleech, we have tons of recovery besides that, so it's pretty unnoticeable, honestly. Yes, unnoticeable. Yeah, and that's about the Pantheons. And now guys, let's take a look on the skill tree, because I changed a few things. You can clearly see the change is we added tons of tattoos. We're using a ton. But the most important one is using increased effect of your marks. I think I added to the build 10, because after 10 is getting the diminishing returns on the increased side. So 10 is the ideal, and I think I can't even... Okay, I can. I would can put a few extra tattoo, but I don't know what I would take. But hey, and obviously using 10% chance to avoid being stunned because of the flask. Flask is giving us, this one is giving us exactly 90%. So the 10% is making us immune to stuns. And honestly, you know, you're using the light of the miming javel. Passive skills in the radius also grants 3% energy shield, and obviously this is the most dense part of the skill tree, so this is why we put here. We using also, you know, Steel Fertile Mind, because it gives us tons of energy shield. This gives us like 600 energy shield, so why would I drop this one? This is pretty good one. And I changed my pathing here a little bit. We allocated infusion. Why are you asking? Because of the Anathema. Because Anathema, your curse limit is equal to your maximum power charges. So we can use 4 curse in the build, right? So, and also, by the way, this Timeless Javel, because of this change, it's making so much cheaper. Literally, I can get 20% armor here, double damage here, double damage here, and the others is not really interesting, but this Javel was literally 1 divine. So yeah, maybe you were getting lucky a little bit better Javels like Rage on hit or something, but honestly, again, this is just prestige at this point. And I took this one 15% to maximum shock effect. Honestly guys, when we're dealing that much damage, we can take this one, and also this is increasing our overall damage because of the polymath. So yeah, I think even Awakener can have 30% even higher shock effect on him, because we're literally hitting that hard. Okay, and honestly, the other thing is not changed. We're still using this cluster, and the Watcherite still giving us gems, guys, the gems. So let's start with our body armor. So Molten Strike here, slower projectile, energy leech, elemental damage with attack support, obviously awakened version, so we cannot take elemental damage from the reflected damage, multi-strike, and volatility. And why I just I swapping the Molten Strike out to Lightning Strike. And honestly guys, because this build has infinite damage, I just added item rarity support to the build. So we just running around of 5 link on Juice the tier 17 maps and tier 16 maps, because you know, item rarity equals more gold equals better town, better workers, and so on, you know. So this is why I'm using like that. So the next one is our helmet. So this is where our curses is put it. Very important, because this is only the place that where you can get the trigger socketing spells when you focus craft. So we socketing here punishment, conductivity, and elemental weakness, and inspiration. Why inspiration? You asking this question, I bet. So because you have to know, conductivity and other curses have very, very big mana cost. So you can clearly see here, this is 51, this is 80. So basically with one single cost, we would deplete our mana if we're not using. You can clearly see, right? So inspiration support is just lowering the mana cost. Okay, so this is why I doing that. In our shield, as I said earlier, Sniper's Mark, Mark on Hit, and Ensure Support. Why Ensure Support? Because Mark on Hit is reducing your effect of your Mark curse, but we getting back the damage from this one, so we basically almost the same damage as we self-casting it. And why not self-casting it? Because you can already clearly see, so we have to use in a boss fight 1, 2, 3, and 4 button, right? So imagine if we're adding another one with the Sniper's Mark, right? So I know, guys, some of you would be not bothered with it, but guys, I was playing Ground Slam Chieftain from the start, like 1 or 2 weeks, and guys, I had enough the button presses. I'm not kidding. I used 9 button to that build, so I just wanted to lower down the button usage as humanly possible. Okay, in the gloves we socketing here the armor, the auras, Arctic armor, Grace, Enlighten level 4. Yes, guys, I invested in a level Enlighten 4, so we can get more mana in the build, and we can get better tincture uptime as well. And Discipline, obviously, and we using Blood and Sand, Molten Shell, Custom Damage Taken, and Temple Shield. And in our weapon, Flame Dash, Leap Slam, and Smite. And this is all of our links and everything about this build, guys. And I think this is where our journey ends with this build. Honestly, guys, this is the definition of broken. I'm not kidding. It's mind-blowing how strong this build. I cannot express this feeling, and literally, guys, this is not a clickbait or something. Play this build while you can. This will be not the next league. If this is in the next league, I don't know what else would you want to play, right? I hope you enjoyed this video about my Lightning Strike / Molten Strike Trickster Uber endgame version. This is pretty expensive build, guys, so yeah, you can farm for this one pretty long time. If you have any question, please leave a comment below, or you can find me on twitch.tv/Pidget2. Also, I would like to say thank you for my Patreons for supporting me. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching. I was Pidget. See you next time.